A very good afternoon. This is Lunchtime News. We are coming to you live and direct this afternoon from the Newsfirst studios here in Colombo. I'm Zola Outskun. First, let's take a look at the headlines this afternoon. 9 cabinet ministers and a state minister take oaths before the president. President calls for the cabinet reshuffle an impetus to Sri Lanka's development. 3 arrested over the shooting of police officers in Piliamdala. GMOA token strike underway, patients severely inconvenienced. Starting off with our lead story this afternoon, following the last-minute meetings held at Temple Trees last night, the much-awaited first cabinet reshuffle of the government of good governance took place this morning at the Presidential Secretariat. Nine cabinet ministers and 1 state minister took oaths this morning. Ministers and members of government arrived at the Presidential Secretariat this morning based on a directive by the President. Accordingly, Mangala Samaravira took oaths as the Minister of Finance and Mass Media, S.P. Dissanayaka as the Minister of Social Empowerment, Welfare and Canadian Heritage, W.D.J. Seniviratne as the Minister of Labour, Trade Union Relations and Sabaragamu Development, Ravi Karunanayaka as Minister of Foreign Affairs, Mahinda Samarasinghe as Minister of Ports and Shipping, Kanta Karunathilaka as Minister of Lands and Parliamentary Reform, Arjuna Ranatunga as Minister of Petroleum Resources Development, Chandima Veerakodi as Minister of Skills Development and Vocational Training, and Tilak Janaka as Minister of Development Assignments. Meanwhile, Mahinda Amarivira took oaths as State Minister of Mahavali Development in addition to his portfolio of Minister of Fisheries. Well, the ministers expressed these views while exiting the premises of the Presidential Secretariat office.
Are
you satisfied with the new portfolio assigned to you? Yes, I am. We are happy about the amendments. Will the cabinet be shuffled again in the future? The President noted in his address that there will be a few changes on deputy ministers and state ministers and the allocation of certain duties. These changes will take place in the coming days. It was said that deputy ministers and state ministers will be changed. My minister was given a promotion to state minister of Canadian Heritage. Will there be a change of the cabinet spokesperson?
The new cabinet ministers, President Maithripala Sirisena stated that the cabinet reshuffle will provide a new impetus to Sri Lanka's development. Well, let's now cross over to Ramesh Rugalbandar standing by in Studio 3, who will give us an analysis on today's cabinet reshuffle. Ramesh, over to you.
Well, thank you, Joel. Minister Kanta Karunathilaka said last night that a cabinet reshuffle would take place, and he said that positions held by the United National Party will be changed among members of the UNP, and that positions held by the Sri Lanka Freedom Party will be changed among members of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party. Now, there are 2 important things that we should note in this cabinet reshuffle. One is that Mangala Samaravira has been appointed as the Minister of Finance and Mass Media, and that the Minister of Finance portfolio, which was earlier held by Ravi Karunanayaka, has been given to Mangala. Mangala's earlier portfolio has been given to Ravi Karunanayaka. Now, incidentally, Minister Mangala Samaravira has been given the portfolio of Finance and Mass Media. Now, these are two very large subject areas. Why Mangala Samaraweera has been given mass media as well, we are not quite sure, but he is experienced in this field. Mangala Samaraweera has held the position of mass media beforehand as well. Mangala Samaraweera, while Mangala Samaraweera takes on finance, Ravi Karunanayaka has been given foreign affairs. This is the first time that he is holding this portfolio. In addition to that, there are changes that have been made within the Sri Lanka Freedom Party. Mahinda Amaraweera, Chandi Virakodi and Arjun Rantunga, their portfolios have been changed among themselves. Arjun Rantunga's portfolio of ports and shipping has been given to Mahinda Samarasinghe. Mahinda Samarasinghe's portfolio of skills development and vocational training has been given to Chandima, while Chandi Virakodi's portfolio of petroleum resources development has been given to Arjuna Ranatunga. So these are how the changes have taken place in the United National Party and in the Sri Lanka Freedom Party. So this will be interesting to note as time goes by how these changes will affect the decisions that are taken in this country. Now, one thing that we should really note is that Minister of Finance Ravi Karunanayaka came under a lot of heavy criticism and then his portfolio was transferred. Arjun Rantunga was battling the Hambantota port deal. His transfer has been given in that regard as well, and Chandi Virakodi has been working on the oil tanks with regard to the oil tanks in Trincomalee, so his portfolio has been transferred as well. So it will be interesting in the next couple of weeks to see how these decisions will affect the country. News First will of course bring you the very latest. Stay with us.
Well, thank you very much, Ramesh, for that update. We'll definitely keep you posted as and when we receive information on the latest from the cabinet reshuffle. Moving on to more local news and a headline this afternoon. Now, the Government Medical Officers Association launched another token strike this morning, citing several demands.
The token strike commenced at 8 a.m. today and will be in effect for a period of 24 hours. Assistant Secretary of the GMOA, Dr. Harita Alutge, noted that services in maternity hospitals, children's hospitals, cancer hospitals, armed forces hospitals and kidney disease treatment centres will not be affected. Meanwhile, the Director of the National Hospital, Dr. Anil Jasingh, has said that steps will be taken to mitigate any inconveniences that may be caused to patients due to the token strike.
Meanwhile, the Court of Appeal has informed that the case in relation to the contempt of court charges filed against the chairman of the GMOA, Dr. Anuruddha Padania, is to be taken up for examination on the 2nd of August. On to more news now. 3 people who allegedly issued orders and provided direction in connection to the shooting of police officers in Piliyandal recently have been arrested. Police said that a 44-year-old woman and 22-year-old man were arrested. The suspects are to be produced before the Casbah Magistrates Court shortly. A young girl and a police officer who were killed in the shootout that transpired on the night of the 9th of May when officers attached to the Police Anti-Narcotics Bureau attempted to carry out a drugs raid in Pidiyamdala. 2 other police officers and a civilian sustained injuries in this shooting. On an update from the Velavatta building collapse, now investigation report with regard to the building that collapsed in Velavatta is to be handed over to the Minister of Housing and Construction, Sajid Premadasa, today. Secretary to the Ministry, W.K.K. Athukorala, said that 3 separate institutes had carried out investigations. He said that the report was compiled by the Industrial Development Board, the State Engineering Corporation and the Department of Buildings. Now, 3 people died and 21 others were wounded when the building under construction in Velavatta collapsed last Thursday. The owner of the building was later arrested by police and was remanded until the 26th of this month after he was produced before the Mount Lavinia magistrates, Mohammed Niam, yesterday. The Badagama police raided an illegal alcohol manufacturing plant in the Manjawata area in Badagama.
According to the police, the illicit alcohol operation had been carried out for a number of years from a wooded area in the village of Manojvatta. The raid was conducted by a special police team following extensive investigations. One barrel of Goda, a barrel of spirits, and a number of equipment used to produce alcohol was taken into police custody. One suspect has been arrested and is due to be produced before the Badegama magistrate today.
That's all the news from Lunchtime News this afternoon. Thank you very much for stopping by. More news follows on our website, www.newsfirst.lk. We'll see you again at 1:55 with the latest.